Watching this live, yay! And if you missed me, welcome to the replay. Do me a favor at the bottom, put hashtag replay so I know that you were here. So, yesterday I talked a little bit about the conflict that I've had since before I was even born. And so some of you might feel like you're going through trials and tribulations, spiritual warfare. You may feel like that, but let me encourage you, it's not for nothing. There is a reason, there is a cause. And as the Bible says, is there not a cause? There's a cause, there's a reason why. And so, I want to talk about your inner landscape, your inner landscape. So I want to float that like a balloon. I'm going to come right back and get that term, inner landscape. But I do want to welcome you to this broadcast. I'm going to be a little bit more intentional about coming on here and giving people exactly what they're looking for. So spiritual warfare, it is a real thing. It doesn't have to be something that you dread. God is teaching your hands to war and making your fingers to fight, according to Psalm 144, verse 1. And so, when you are going through any type of trial, that is a time of learning. It is a time of discernment. It is a time of learning what not works, and you want to learn what actually works, and that's going to get you through to the other side. There are so many of us that give up and we just let it go. I remember the movie Shawshank Redemption, where the character was in jail. One of the characters, he was in jail. Morgan Freeman is in that movie. And so in Shawshank Redemption, he got out with a spoon out of a cement wall, and he just kept digging through the wall. You know why? Because he was consistent every single day. He was very strategic about what he did. He put up a big giant picture, a poster of Raquel Welch, which the guards wouldn't have paid any attention to looking behind it to see that there was a wall being created. And so he got blueprints of the jail cell so that he knew what was on the other side of the wall, and he got himself out and he got free. A lot of times in this Christian walk, what happens is you are in a holding cell, in a holding pattern, and it seems as though you can't get out. But there is a way out. God said in his word, I make a way of escape for you. And so because we are under the blood of Yeshua, we are made innocent, we are made righteous. God encourages us, but we have to keep going. We cannot faint, we cannot fall out, and God continues to rescue us. But one of the things that we must remember to do is to hold on to his hand, to not give up, to keep going. One of the things that I've been saying lately is complacency, and you are free to write this down and maybe it's going to help you. But complacency, and this is what I say, complacency is my Achilles heel, but consistency causes me to run. Complacency is my Achilles heel, and complacency is what? Is my Achilles heel, but consistency will cause me to run, right? So why not take on those things that's going to help to change your inner landscape? I remember I said I was going to take that, float that like a balloon, and come on back. So your inner landscape, beloved, is what you need to understand. Those are the things that you need to understand that's going on within you. You're looking for patterns. You're looking for certain moments of conflict that seems to keep showing up, right? So why is it that we keep going through the same cycles, going through the same patterns, going through the same go through, right? Why is that? Yeah, I'm going to have to do that. So you have to guard your gates. That's up to you. And a lot of times we think it's up to God. No, beloved, that's up to you. He will show you things, but it's up to you. Right. It's you saying that it's hard not to give up? Well, which one is it harder to do? To give up or to keep going? Is it hard to keep going? It is. But if you keep going and you are consistent, you'll come out of it. If you give up, you're going to stay in the same place. You know, there's a place in the Bible, it's in First Kings, and it talks about the four lepers. And when you are a leper, they put you on an island and they isolate you, and people see you and they don't want nothing to do with you, right? But one of the other lepers said to the other three, they said, why should we sit here and die? Why should we just sit here? And so when they got up to go, God gave them the army. Oh my God, this is so good. God gave them, they didn't hear the sound of the horses. They didn't hear anything. They was just walking along, going where they were going. But God gave a sound of an army so that when they got to where they were going, the adversary, the enemy, the thieves, the liars, they heard it and they were so like they were afraid and they ran. They ran. And when they ran off, they left all this wealth. They left all these goods. They left all of it. So you never know what God has for you in the next place. You just can't give up and just sit there, because if you just sit there and do nothing, you're going to die in that place. Does that make sense? You're going to die. You're going to sit there and you're just going to stay broke. You're going to sit there and you're going to stay in bad relationships. You're going to sit there and you won't flourish. You won't prosper. But if you keep going, eventually you're going to get it. God said to Jeremiah, he said, is my word not like a hammer? Excuse me. He said, is my word not like a hammer to break in pieces the rock? You have to keep hitting it and hitting it and hitting it. Guess what? If you stop hitting it, it's not going to break. You ever have a can of something and you're trying to open it with a can opener? What happens if you stop using a can opener? It won't open. If this video is good, please give me a like. I appreciate that. If this video is good, share it out. Thank you so much. So, and I have some links in the description. So it is to your advantage to keep going. There's a guy named Roger Bannister. He ran the first 4-minute mile. Before that, it was impossible. Nobody heard of doing such a thing. A mile in 4 minutes? Like who does that? But he decided, because there's a difference between making a decision and a choice. The problem is we got too many choices. But he decided, because when you break down the word decide, it means to cut off. It cuts off everything else. Like there's no other choices. It's just this. And so what he did was he decided he was going to run this 4-minute mile. He almost gave up though. He almost was like, you know what, forget it. But he did it. And you know what happened? Other people said, well, if he could do it, I can do it. And so they did it too. And then there were actual people that broke his record. 4 minutes in a mile? Come on, y'all. Go Google it. It's a true story. And so I want you to be encouraged to not give up, to keep going, to press, pursue, and persist. So going back, and I'm going to get out of here because I got to go do some stuff. But your inner landscape is a terrain that you have to be not just comfortable with, but you have to know it. In other words, you got to know yourself. And you have to be able to see where you keep slipping and keep falling and keep messing up or keep being pushed out. It's a conflict. Sometimes the conflict is inner, and sometimes the conflict is without. There's always somebody that's speaking negative. There's always somebody that won't give you an opportunity. There's always somebody that's a naysayer. Don't listen to them. Listen to the Holy Spirit, because the Lord knows the way that you take. And I want you to so decide to dial in and to lean in to the voice of the Lord. There's a lot of voices out there. There's a lot of voices out there. Isn't that right? You know, sometimes your parents, they're not supportive, but that's not an excuse. You can make it. You can make it. So trust and know the path. So your spiritual landscape, or excuse me, your spiritual mapping means that you are looking at your life and you're seeing all the areas. You're looking at your gifts, your talents, your abilities. You're looking at places where doors were shut. You're looking at places and people that were trying to oppose what you want to do. You also have to look at yourself and your mindset. I'm trying to make this real simple, y'all. In other words, press, pursue, and persist. Please don't give up. Stay in the word. Don't get distracted. Pay attention to the things that you need to pay attention to. Because if something is not working, and it's because you keep doing the same thing, thinking you're going to get a different result, that means you have to abort. You have to abandon that. And you stay consistent in that thing. You just have to look at a new thing. You're welcome, Yosef. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're so welcome. And so continue to like, give me some likes, follow me, subscribe to this channel when you want to go to deeper depths and higher heights. I did not put my link in there. I got a lot of links. But if you want some links for some free downloads, my email address is in there. Shoot me your just shoot me a quick letter and say, yes, I want a free download for spiritual mapping. Yes, I want a free download for strategies for prayer. Definitely do that. You can also go to my website, thechamberroomexperience.org, and go to the tab that says prayer partners, and then fill that out, and you can put your name in, and there will be, your prayer request will be there. All right, so do that. Do that today. Hey, Michael Ellis, thank you so much for popping in. Thank you for sending love. Thank you for sending light. I appreciate you being on here. Keep me in prayer, beloved. I will keep you all in prayer. I really, really got to go, but I just want to come in here and do this real quick. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like. Send me a bunch of comments. Tell me what you think about spiritual mapping. Have you even heard of such a thing? And I don't mean spiritual mapping for communities or regions or territories. I mean spiritually mapping yourself. Does that make sense? So, and if you want to know more information about that, put that in the comments. And I should have I should have put my link in there so you could just go get the free download. Sorry. But I'm gonna do that. But God bless you. Have an amazing day on purpose. I am Dr. Nabiyah Bayou, to bring you intimate truth. It's the truth that you embrace that makes you free. God bless you. Shalom, shalom. Bye, Michael. Bye, Yosef. Bye, Rivka. I can't name everybody that's on here, but I want to encourage you. Press, pursue, and persist. You got this. You really do. You got this. God bless you. Shalom, shalom.